In our morning consumer news, new data shows a growing divide in who's actually spending money. The top 20% of income earners are driving 63% of all consumer spending. Economists say that gap is widening to historic levels. Data from Moody's Analytics shows this is the highest on record dating back to 1989. Meanwhile, lower income Americans are cutting back on their spending. You may not be thinking about holiday shopping quite yet, but the Postal Service is. They've already released deadlines. They say mail your cards and gifts by December 17th for Ground Advantage and First Class. Priority Mail deadline is December 18th and Priority Mail Express deadline December 20th. You can find more shipping deadlines at USPS.com. Hyundai is recalling more than 500,000 SUVs over a serious seatbelt issue. The recall affects Hyundai Palisade vehicles, model years 2020 through 25. The company says seatbelt buckles in the driver, passenger, and second row window seats may fail to latch. Until repairs are made, Hyundai advises you to firmly insert seatbelts and tug on them to make sure they're secure. Dealers will inspect and replace the buckles for free. A lot of money questions remaining after the Federal Reserve cut those interest rates. What exactly does this mean for your wallet? Grace Monk has that answer.
Wednesday, the Federal Reserve announced a rate cut, bringing lending rates down between 4 and 4.25%. The reduction is designed to keep the economy growing by making it less expensive to borrow money.
A recent jobs report came out that the job market is a little bit sluggish. So by cutting interest rates, they're essentially making it cheaper for businesses and for individuals to borrow money.
The good news for consumers, it'll bring down rates for credit cards and loans.
Let's say you want to buy a $50,000 car at 10%. Well, you could afford now a $60,000 car at 8%.
The Fed doesn't control mortgage loan rates, but Gibson says they started to go down ahead of the cut.
We kind of knew rates were going to come down, so the banks have already kind of priced that into mortgages dropping.
The rate was only lowered by 1/4 percentage point. Although rates will go down, it won't be anything major.
It's not like credit card rates are going to go from 26% down to 18 or something like that. They're still pretty high. They'll probably still stick in that kind of low 20s to high 20s range.
The Fed signaled 2 more cuts are likely later this year. Gibson says consumers should consider refinancing their outstanding debt right now to get a lower interest rate.
All the way from student loans to credit cards to mortgages to cars. You see rates kind of coming down. Feel free to reach out to your lender and see if you can refinance.
Reporting in La Crosse, Grace Monk, News 8 Now this morning.
The Fed signaled 2 more cuts are likely later this year.